This session we'll go to a little different spot, and I'll take him to the round pen, and it's pretty slick, so I'll have to work pretty right, and that'll be a thought where the round pen isn't always something you chase horses around in, especially when you got a real slick round pen. Monster. So we'll just let these guys come in, and then maybe I'll catch him with these other two horses in here, because he likes to hide out from these other horses. Maybe that'll be a good thing to do here. That's how you latch a Preferred gate. You run it through the hole and come back across, by the way. So I'll just lay my rope down, get my halter ready. Again, these puppies, I hate dogs. Now I'll work on dogs, but when you go to catch a horse, you should always be prepared. Have your halter ready, and I like to lay it over my arm like this and have it set like this. So put it through my fingers and just like that. So when I do get a chance, hey, puppies, monster. Now these puppies got to learn where the line is. So, and they gotta, I'll let this horse in here with us. Come on, buddy, save your life. Now, Monster is a monster, and he's got a lot of want to, but he'll drag my dogs into getting in trouble. Hey, now I've seen a lot of dogs running around round pens making tracks, and so get out of here. I'm going to stop that as much as I can while I still work my horse. So this might be a little bit of a deal here. They're going to want to go, and I just got to be careful. It's pretty slick, so I don't want to create something falling down or slipping and hurting themselves. So that's all right. So got some comments and some questions on some of the stuff with old El Conejo, and somebody sent a deal in. They have a horse that's pretty snorty like this, and they asked if it should be put in a chute. It's never been touched or anything. It's kind of probably wilder than this one. I think that'd be a wonderful idea. Hey, you know, when horses have this much go, you got to get that forward motion stop somehow. And I like a horse like this, one real good way, if you got a helper that's pretty handy and you've got a lot of trust, you can rope one by the hind foot and get him where he stops, and you can hold him by hind foot on a saddle horse or a big strong guy, and pretty soon he can't go, and he gets scared and he leaves and gets stopped, and he has to overcome that. So that's a good way. If you're handy enough, you can use a rope and a hind foot. But boy, I would really love to have buck and shoot around here at D&H, and like when we were down at Hubbard, Texas, where they were right near the rodeo arena, I used a buck and shoot a lot. And I think Brian Newbert, from what I heard, I wouldn't speak for him, I didn't see it, but I've heard he liked to use a buck and shoot a lot with a Mustang. The trouble is like when you put a horse in a chute, or if I was to tie this horse up and I go into his flight zone, he goes from thinking to reacting. If he doesn't have anywhere to go, he's got to, so you got to be careful when you get something tied up like that, or put in a chute like that, or tied. You've got to be willing to take your pressure off if it gets to be where they're reacting too much and they flip over backwards, or flip over in the chute, or so that's where roping one by hind foot, they can go sideways, they just can't go forward. So that'd be great. Anything you can do to get that forward movement out of there and get it under control, that'd be great. So I'll just keep working at this. This is just fine. And I'll just keep drawing. Like right now I'm drawing him. He's drawn to the other horses more than me. And then now when I see with him, so there's my draw. When I come forward, it turns into a drive real easy because his sensitivity to pressure is so much. So I'll approach as soon as I see him move a foot or even get ready to move a foot. I'll change my angle or try to change from a drive to a draw. Like right there, I have to change a little bit. If I just keep going or stay there, it'll be driving him away. So here now his left foot is going to go, so I had to move. And now there. Now I'm going to use this fence to help me to make it where it's easier to keep him from having an escape route. And he's pretty smart. He knows that if he faces up there, then he has a way to prepare himself to get away from me. Like when he gets parallel with the fence, he don't like that, because then he knows I can just step forward here and get in his way. So he don't like that too much. Now he might have just said, well, come up and pet me. So I'll do that. And how did I know he said to come up and pet me? I don't know. It just seemed like he just kind of had that expression where I could go forward. And I had to get him in the right position. Now I'll go ahead and just step off and look at these other horses, see what my dogs are doing. Get out, dogs, out. Aye, 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 aye. Get out of there, puppy. Get. Good dogs. That'll work. Now we'll let him move around again. And one of the real, see, I think one of his problems is he was snorty to start out with. I think his sister was real. That's the one that bucked Rylan and the saddle and everything off in Ardmore last year. I think the mare is kind of snorty. But the problem is we had him here. Here's the deal. So this is Mesa's place, and my place is about half mile to the east. And then, but Mesa, she didn't, I don't think, anyway, this horse is around my place over there last spring. And for a while, and they came up and they had never been handled. And so I didn't mess with them much. And what happens with a horse like this, every time you go catch a horse or something, he goes and hides and figures out somewhere to go and get away from other, so he doesn't have to deal with the pressure. And then pretty soon that just gets more and more and more. So I didn't really do my job as a horseman keeping him. I should have. And I got him halter broke. I roped him and got him halter broke and did some stuff, but I didn't do a whole lot with them because they're Mesa's horses, and I had my own thing to do, and I didn't know if she wanted me to, how much to do or whatever. So I might be kind of created more of this than not. There, now, good. Now we'll just watch and see how his feet shape up and where he goes from there. Now I'm gonna step forward here, and I'll use the other horses to help him come, and I'll use my fence just a little bit, just so I got an angle there. No. See there, he's got the angle figured out. Good. I'll get him touch one more time. I'm gonna let him come across there just a little more now. Right here, I'm gonna try to. He's smart. He knows if he goes forward, he's gonna get stuck in that V right there. So he's saying, no, I'm not going into that trap again. So I got to be there. Now he's saying, okay, go ahead and just touch me, he says. He'll make her. Good. All right, so that's a nice approach there. I'm going to call that good and shut this thing off because it's going to shut off anyway. And then we'll start another one.